Merrill.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing excellent. How about you?
Really well, thanks.
With your tea or
my tea, very important.
What's it of?
It's called throat comfort tea.
Oh.
Yes, very, very soothing for the throat.
And is it comforting?
Very, yeah. I find I'm even a little too relaxed.
That's not what you usually want before a show, I guess.
No, exactly. Yeah, a little too sleepy. Nate was telling me the other day that in places that are big, and this place that we're playing tonight, you do the drum and it goes boom, boom, like that. And if that's the case, you're supposed to play a little bit slower because it takes time for the rhythm to hit the opposite wall. So maybe things will be a little slower tonight.
Oh, so like I don't know. No water in the water fountain. You're probably getting more tom-toms for the next tour, I guess.
Now I'm worried.
No, please don't. I just found out you have like one of the world's best DJs as your tour manager, DJ Fitz.
Megandro, can I have some chicken?
I thought you were going to say one of the world's best DJs playing after, which we also are. I mean, DJ Marfox is playing, who I think is an amazing DJ. But it's true. One of the best DJs in the world is our tour manager. It's true.
Not DJ Marfox or DJ Negafox, because both. Actually, they play. We're playing the Príncipe nights in Portugal, because it's something that happens in Portugal, in Lisbon actually, once the first Saturday of every month. And it's an amazing night out.
I wish I could see them tonight because I think I'll need to be. We have to wake up early in the morning. I think I need to come back to Lisbon. DJ Fitz is our tour manager, at least as long as we can keep him. Once he gets to be a famous, highly paid DJ, then no more working for us.
Sure, no, but yeah, I'm sure you would.
But every van ride is music from all over the world.
Knick-knack. It's funny because the album sounds very knick-knacky in a way.
Knick-knacky. Does it mean anything in Portuguese?
Bugigangas.
Bugigangas.
Yes, it's very, 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 very uncommon word, I guess. Bugigangas is like knick-knack. Yeah. It's the same thing.
Okay. Well, I came up with it later on because it was called Cinco for a long time, and Cinco, I worried that if the album didn't do well, then they'd be like, Cinco is a stinko. So I decided against that. So, because if you get too close. So I had my friend Alex who did the artwork for the album. She went through all of the lyrics and picked out all the interesting sounding things, and she said knick-knack which was a lyric from one of the songs Left Behind, and I was kind of like, I think that could be it. And I like it because it's a woman's name, kind of, but it also is like knickknacks, and it has a kind of children's quality to it that I really like.
How far has world music informed your work, really?
What I was brought up with was old-timey music, which is music from the mountain regions of the eastern part of the States. And that's old, basically European settlers who became the hill folk of that area. So that's what I grew up with. My ears are big, so most of the music that I've been interested in comes from different parts of Africa, Mali and East African pop music, from the 80s and 90s and South Africa. Some music I've been more in depth with, like going to studying Haitian music in California where we live, and then I went to Haiti. So that's more getting in depth with studying the rhythms and getting to know the language of a different culture. But a lot of it's just listening, you know. I get a criticism which is, well, how can you steal from other cultures? And that is happening all the time. I mean, musicians who are really musicians listen so intently, you know, and that sense of listening just to any kind of music at all and taking it in and realizing that as you listen, you're becoming a better musician. That I think happens all the time. I think that the issue comes in with the compensation. Like Selda, the Turkish musician who we played right before her at the Guess Who festival in Utrecht. And
excellent festival, by the way.
Yes, sure. Guess Who. And she was sampled by Mos Def on his last album. It's a sick sample, you know. She's a musician that no one in the States knows about, and I don't know, there's that sense of how do you compensate a musician for something so core that you're taking from them. And it comes up with me. I mean, people say, how can you, you know, we're good, yeah. We're talking about you.
Yes, we were talking about you earlier. Sure
you are, but they're videotaping. Yeah, come on in.
We were actually talking about you earlier during the interview. Yeah, there you go. So there you go. You got mentioned.
I get asked a lot about, well, you're appropriating Haitian music or you're appropriating Afrobeat, or you know, and I am. I mean, that I'm taking parts of that style of music.
You can tell when it's for the music and not gimmicky, you know?
I don't know. Good to hear. But I mean, I think for a lot of people, no. I think for some people, it's not okay. And for me, it's just what I naturally do and the music that I want to listen to and the music that I want to make. But I do think that there become these issues of, you know, then how do I choose to give back to that music, you know? And maybe for me, there are very specific ways, you know. We get to start this charitable fund that we can give back where we think money should go, or the people that taught us Haitian music, we've given back to them in certain ways. It'll always be that issue in music, you know, whose music is this? Why do you have a right to this music? It's not your music. And I think it's good that we have those conversations.
And in the end, it's cultural property, like, so it's good to mix stuff up and with other stuff, I guess, pardon the lack of eloquence, but yeah, there you go.
But I mean, for instance, like Mar Fox we're about to release a remix that he did of Water Fountain, and it was him and Perles Negras. How do you say that?
Perlas Negras, yeah.
Perlas Negras.
Sorry, no, Portuguese is difficult, yeah. Pérolas negras.
Pérolas
negras.
Pérolas negras.
Yeah, there you go.
It's so hard.
Yes,
Pérolas negras. Getting them to collaborate and then having our audience know more about what's happening in Portugal with this scene of music, and then what's happening in Brazil with that scene of music, that becomes a really cool conversation between scenes, you know, and I love that. I think that's the great part about combining and taking from each other.
Time After Dark is one of my favorite songs of the year, and there's stuff like Hey Life and Real Thing. So I wanted to ask you, are you okay?
Am I okay?
Yes, they seem very...
Do I look okay?
Yes.
I'm okay. Yeah.
Was it a difficult time for you in the past or something? It seems like very...
Yeah. But I mean, no more difficult than any other human being, I think. Yeah. Okay. I mean, I choose to write songs in order to get over things, and some people choose, I don't know, alcohol or partying or writing or talking with friends, you know. I think that's my form of expression. But thank you for asking.
You're welcome.
I think
I care.
Yeah, I appreciate that. No, it's so rewarding, really, to go. I mean, we've seen the world in the past month. We've seen, I mean, not the world. We've seen Europe. But we've seen Estonia and Latvia, and coming back here I love playing in Portugal, and I really wish that we had more time. It's really good to get the perspective on life and really be so grateful that I get to, you know, be interviewed. Who cares what I think, really?
There you go. Who cares what anyone thinks? We're all gonna die. This got really grim all of a sudden.
So let's talk about comedy.
Yes, let's talk about Comedy Bang Bang. Okay, so last question. Okay, so like the last thing I wanted to mention, like, was because you were in Comedy Bang Bang, like, and this year, and one of the most, I don't know, joyful episodes of this year's podcast, I guess. Was it the first time you were interviewed by a drunk English rollerblading actor Christmas tree? Yes. I think I got all of them.
First time ever.
Ever. That was really wacky, wasn't it?
Yeah, totally wacky. I have not listened to it because I can't, because the whole time I was like, because there's no, they base it, I don't know, because I'm not funny, you know, but
of course you are.
Well, but like not that funny. I'm not,
well,
you know.
Who's that funny?
It was just a weird thing, because sometimes you don't know if you're supposed to play the person who's not funny in order for the people to be funny, to be more funny. But then I kind of was like, no, I'm not going to be this one that you make fun of. You know what I mean? They're really nice guys. They don't make fun of anybody.
Anyway, they're not going to tell you anyways.
Exactly. And I listened to Annie from St. Vincent. She had done it before, and so I listened.
She was so uncomfortable.
Really?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know. I listened to hers before, and I was like, okay, if Annie can do it, I can do it. I don't know what I'm doing, but I'll do it. Yeah.
I think actually she had like the most uncomfortable time ever on the show, during the show. Like, she was audibly uncomfortable, which was weird. But
I haven't asked her about it. I should ask her how it really was. Some things that you're at, this is cool, this interview, but sometimes we're like, you have an interview, and then you get into a room and you're like, oh, you know, what am I doing here? Who are you?
And you're throwing curveballs all of a sudden.
Exactly. Like a rollerblading Christmas tree. Yeah.
Yes. Most coveringest of balls. There you go.